A little while ago, guys, I put this video out essentially asking if you would be happy to make whiskey at home for science. And you guys responded with a resounding hell yes. So we're on, guys. This is happening. This video is giving you an update about how you can get involved and how the project's going. Welcome to Distiller, everyone. I'm Jesse, and this is the channel all about chasing the craft of home distillation and making it a legitimate hobby. So I had this idea for a super ambitious project, and it is ambitious, guys. It's going to take a lot of work from me and from you guys to make this happen. It's not going to happen overnight. And I wasn't sure whether or not, there'd be enough interest from the community, from you guys, the chasers. And you guys came out in spades. I think that video's got like 350 comments or something on it right now, which is pretty crazy. That's awesome. If you haven't seen that video and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, please guys go watch this one first, because that'll make everything make a whole lot more sense. Come back here afterwards. This video, now that we know we're doing this, is to catch you up on what's happening and to answer some questions about, how this is going to work and how you can be involved at home. The first thing, guys, number one, is we need to decide on the exact base malts we're using before we go further on. Now, a couple of things came up here, guys. Some people live in areas where they just can't get hold of standard, there's one product they can get. It's only in that place. No one else can really get it from around the world. It's just them. And I don't want you guys to be left out. So we're gonna pick 10 products that are the standard, this is the suggested list, but I am gonna allow people to submit their data, their findings, for a product that's not on that list. So guys, please, if you can get hold of the stuff that's on the list, do so. That's how this project works. We get numbers and we do things specifically. We work as a group to get data on specific products, but I don't want anyone else to be left out, I don't want people to not be able to join in. And obviously you can do this as many times as you want. You can submit 20 questionnaires if you want to. That would be awesome, absolutely awesome. Enough of that, it is time to vote. What I need you to do is go to this URL right here. And if you can't be bothered typing it in, go into the descriptions down below and find the link there. That is now going to be home base for this project. That's where this project lives from now on. If you want updates, you can go there and check whenever you want. If you really want to make sure you know what's going on, two things, guys. One, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell down below, so when I put update videos out, you actually get them. You can also sign up to the newsletter where I will be sending updates out as well. You can do that at the same URL. Cool? You're gonna follow that link. You're going to go over to the Chase the Craft website and you're going to click on a button that says vote now. That button's only going to be there for a little while and then it's going to go away. So get in now, have your say before it disappears. It's a super brief survey. It's not going to ask you any personal details. In fact, this entire thing, I am going to keep it anonymous. Everything is going to be anonymous. The only thing that's going to matter is the data itself. And I want to do this to keep any bias of, oh, I know that guy, he really knows his stuff. I'll trust what he says more than someone else. That we don't want any of that stuff going on in this, okay, guys? So if you haven't done this already, guys, press pause, go and vote right now, and then come back to this video, hit play again, and we'll go through the Q&A stuff. Question number one, and I saw this a bunch of times, what happens if there is a certain control that I can't abide by? Is there any point in me doing this? Is there any point in me doing this? Yes, hell yes. We can't control everything. If we were going to control everything, we would be using exactly the same malt, exactly the same still, exactly the same fermentation vessel, so on and so forth. We're not going to be able to do that, right? We just don't have the resources. I can't ask you to go out and spend $5 grand on equipment to be able to enter your data into the survey. So what we need is numbers, and we need people to be honest about what they do and what they don't do. It's not about catching you out. It's not about setting a test that you have to pass. It's saying, we would prefer you to ferment with US-05. We'll get to that in a minute. So when it comes time to submit your questionnaire, to submit your data, it's going to have like little boxes saying, did you ferment with US-05? Yes or no. And then you can write in what you used instead. What about testing X, Y, Z? I want to put base malt in there. I want to add fruits, all these other random things. Nope. We're not doing that, guys. We're not doing this at all. It's going to be a single base malt. There's too many variables already. We just need to test this one thing. But, if we can get this off the ground, if we can make this platform work, then we can use this platform to test all sorts of other things. Yeasts. People have been asking about this as a control, and yes, I do think we need to control it because it's my belief that it's going to make an effect. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It doesn't matter. We're just going to control it and take it off the table. So we're using USO5, this stuff right here. Once again, if you can't get that, then you use what you use, but you just need to state what it is when we get to that point. We also had a bunch of people asking, you know, could they use their own products that they make? Can I malt my own products? And I'm going to wrap this into other people asking, why are we controlling the manufacturer? Why are we controlling the person that makes the malt? This is such a variable process from the point of the variety of seed that's grown, the location it's grown, the year that it's grown, the date that it's planted and picked, the way it's, everything about this stuff is different. To the point where 2 different batches of Maris Otter can taste quite different from each other and give you very different specs. It is completely unreasonable to ask people to go out and buy a certain bag of Maris Otter that was produced on this month that all came from the same batch. That's just incomprehensible. We can't do that. But what we can do is control down to the producer. At least that way we can control all of these existential variables down as much as possible. So yes, it is going to be different. I buy Maris Otter here in New Zealand today, and it's going to be different than the Maris Otter that you buy in London a month from now. Yeah, it is going to be different. That's fine. What about just ale malt or pale malt? Can't we just use any? No, no you can't. Because different producers, different manufacturers are going to use the same name, like something super generic like ale malt or two-row, and they might actually be quite different products, yeah? So please guys, it is important, just trust me on this one, it's important. So long story short, no, your own homemade stuff isn't going to count because at the end of the day, you're going to have a sample size of 1 for that product. It's statistically completely and utterly meaningless. In saying that, if you want to do it at home, you know, and compare it to the other stuff, that's cool. By all means, go for it, guys. But it's not going to be helpful for this project. What about specialty malts? What about peat? No, guys. I know technically, I guess you could call peated malt a base malt, but for this specific thing, adding smoke just adds a whole nother level of complexity to it. So we're narrowing it down for this one. And once again, guys, we could do just a peat version of this later on. Same with specialty malts. I see that being a whole thing just by itself, and I'm excited for that. But let's get this base malt one covered off first. A bunch of people have gotten in touch with me and said, I've got a T500, I've got an air still, I've got a all copper pot still, I've got all these different types of stills. Is that going to work? Yes. Like I said, it would be great to control this and tell everyone, if you want to take part, you need to go out and buy a Copperhead T500 still. So we've all got the same still and we can run on that. That'd be awesome from the science point of view. Practically, it's just not going to happen, right? So use the equipment you have to make a whiskey in the best way possible. I will write some guidelines for this stuff and have it on that same webpage and let you know here and in an email when it's ready. But at the end of the day, guys, you're going to have to do what you need to do. Just remember, you'll be taking notes on everything you do, and you'll be submitting the way that you created that whiskey in the questionnaire at the end. What about tasting notes and the people that are not used to finding the language or describing things in certain ways? Totally cool. I get it, guys. I get it. It is really tricky when you first start to try and think of words that describes what it is that you're tasting in front of you. We're going to make this simple, and we're going to standardize it. So we're not going to just have a box that says describe the whiskey. That's not the way it's going to work. So it's going to be a series of multiple choice questions, basically. It's going to be a questionnaire version of a flavor wheel. That's the way I'm planning on doing it at the moment. So this leads on to, people have been saying, yes, we need a standardized Excel spreadsheet or a standardized PDF to fill out or whatever. All of those options would be great, but at the end of the day, I'm hoping this gets huge. I hope that over time we have, a whole lot of people submitting this. And I don't want to be manually transferring data or moving data around. So it's all going to be digital. It's going to be an online survey that you fill out essentially. So every time you create a new product and you've evaluated, you go to the same page, you click submit, and you fill out the survey. If you've got another one that you want to submit again, you go back and do it again. You start from scratch. So every time someone submits an answer, it's standardized. Everyone does it the same way. Every time it happens, it's done the same way. And that's going to make the data more powerful at the other end. What if you can't distill at all? Can you still be helpful to this project? Hell yes you can. Vote on what it is you want to see the results for. Doesn't matter if you're distilling at home. If you just want to know conceptually, that's cool. I want you to be involved in this. I'm going to be putting sort of test surveys out coming up soon. I'm going to need people to go through and test that out for me. If you have a background in science, research, statistics, data collection, data manipulation, all those sort of things, feel free to give me suggestions on things that I've missed or things that I should be doing or things that I could do better. If you're not distilling at home, yes, you can totally still help out with this. And that could be as simple as, if you really want to make this happen, if you really want to see it happen, every time I make a video on this topic, like it, comment on it, share it, give it to other people, tell them to get involved. There's plenty of other ways that you can champion this little project, or not so little project, without actually running a still. I get it, that's cool. How long are you going to have to complete this? Here's the kicker, guys. This is never going to close. Once it's up and running, once it's open, you're going to be able to submit to this for as long as the Chase the Craft website is live. That's the plan. And this is why I'm trying to automate as much as possible, right? I don't want to be manually doing stuff. I just want to get it all set up, get the platform sorted, invite people to join in the fun. And then as people throw data into, the questionnaire, then the results start spitting out automatically, in the forms of a graph or whatever it happens to be. If you want to, you could set yourself a goal to do 4 a year personally, so 4 times a year, you do this with a different malt, or you go back and do the same malt, which would be really interesting. I totally suggest you do that. You resubmit the answers again, and the data set just keeps growing and growing and growing. And finally, can we get started yet? The answer is no. No, we can't. We don't even know what malts we're using yet, so we'll have that information soon. But I would suggest not running out and buying anything straight away unless you're happy to sit on it for a little while, because I need to get the background stuff set up. I need to get all of the controls, all of the process that we're going to be using defined and written up and into a video so everyone can follow it. This is not a sprint, guys. It's a long-term thing that I'm hoping is going to evolve and grow over time. So, the takeaway, team, vote. Make sure you vote. Have you voted yet? If you didn't vote earlier, please go right now and vote here. Keep that URL saved, because that's where all the new information is going to be going. And if you want to get notifications of when new information does go to that URL, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notifications of new videos when I do an update, or jump over on the mailing list once again. You can subscribe here. If you have any more questions about how this is going to go, please, in the comment section down below, drop some questions down here. It's just going to evolve over time, guys. It's going to roll out. It's going to take a little bit of time. Trust in the process. We'll get there, I promise. I'm excited about this. I can't wait to get stuck in. But right now, I need to go and roast some corn. So, yeah, make sure you like this video, comment on it, get the YouTube algorithm chugging along and thinking this stuff's pretty cool. And that'll help this project grow as well. But I'm out of here. Keep on chasing the craft, guys. See ya.